Good morning, participants. Yeah, so in this session, we will try to use some of the online resources that could be used in a positive way to handle the lecture sessions in your colleges, right? Yeah. Ma'am?
Yes, sir.
Ma'am, give permission for me, ma'am, to present the PPT.
I'm sorry, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Now I think.
Sure, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, so okay, I will be sharing the screen now. We will be okay. So I will be concentrating on e-learning of digital electronics using free online tools, right? So we are basically concentrating on this topic because due to this pandemic era, we have to make use of these online tools at the most so that we can deliver the lecture concepts to the end user. So end user is obviously our students, right? So that the student community will get benefited by using these resources. So the usage of these resources is also new to them, and it will be an interactive sessions so that the students will also get benefited, right? So as such, I will tell you how to use this software. It is a free online software, and I will tell you how to create a class such that you can use it as a classroom and you can verify the simulations done by your students, right? The students cannot copy the simulations from one student to another student, right? That is also possible. Okay. So as it is a digital electronics, I hope we are very familiar with it. So with respect to your digital electronic circuits, we have either a combinational circuit or a sequential circuit, right? So the basic things, the basic building block of a digital circuit will be a logic gate. So first I will start the simulation of a logic gate, say for example a NAND gate, and then I will tell you how to build a combinational circuit. So once the combinational circuit is over, we will pass on to the sequential circuit, right? So your arithmetic circuits, it will also falls under the category of combinational circuits. So the combinational circuits, it will combine the inputs and it will generate the output, right? Whereas with respect to your sequential circuits, it requires a memory element in order to store the results and the previous inputs, right? So that we could work with this combinational as well as the sequential circuit with respect to this software, right? So the first and foremost software that we are going to see is the Tinkercad, right? So this Tinkercad, it is a free online simulator. So you don't need to install any software. It's enough if you have a standard net connection, right? So standard internet connection is, I mean, if you are having a standard internet connection, then you can use this free online simulator. You require only a valid email ID, right? As I told, it doesn't require any download, so the students also can do it even with the help of mobile phones, right? But I will not encourage the usage of mobile phones. This is because the interactions between the faculty and the student will be very less when the student is using mobile phones. He will get distracted with the messages from WhatsApps or the Facebook notifications, right? So I always advise my students to use the laptops, right? Okay, so likewise, a class can also be created to monitor the student work. So this creation of class is also free, right? So this class could also be embedded with your Google Classroom, right? So if you are handling the classes in Google Classroom, there is a possibility to include this class into your Google Classroom. That is, you can embed this class into your Google Classroom to monitor further, right? So whenever a student is working, that is simulating, so that simulation will also be stored within the class, which will be stored as a backup in the cloud, right? You can access it at any time for any number of, right? So that too at free of cost. You don't require to pay anything. Okay. Yeah. So with this, we will see what are the things that could be explored in this lecture, right? I will tell you how to create a login in a Tinkercad and how we can use it as a teacher login and how the student login will be. So I will use one teacher login as well as one student login. And if you are interested, I will give you the class code so that you can also simulate, and I will share how you are performing your simulation, right? So in order to check the functionality of this Tinkercad or to work with this Tinkercad, I will be using this simulation of a logic gate, simulation of a combinational circuit, and simulation of a sequential circuit, right? And then I will tell you how to view a student work. Okay, so this will be the main agenda for this simulation. So as it is an online tool, I won't use this PPT for any presentation purposes. We will have only the circuits, so we will use the simulation. Okay, so first we will see the help. We will simulate a logic gate, right? So you say, for example, a NAND gate, right? Yeah. So with that, in order to simulate this logic gate, first I will tell you how to log in into your Tinkercad and how to create the user IDs. Okay. Yeah. So we will switch on to the. Just a minute. Yeah. So whether my screen is visible, I have opened the browser.
Yes, sir. Visible only.
Okay, thank you. See, you require only any Gmail ID or your college school IDs or even Yahoo, that is your Microsoft IDs, right? So you require only a valid Gmail ID in order to create or in order to work with this class. Okay. So first, what you have to do is you have to type Tinkercad in the Google. So you will get the first link itself. So tinkercad.com, right? So this Tinkercad, it is an Autodesk product. Okay, yeah. So I have already used one account. Okay, so it is an Autodesk product, and it can, with the help of this Tinkercad, we can either simulate the circuits or even we can do some 3D modeling, right? So if we are doing a 3D modeling, then we can give the design file to a 3D printer and we can make our product. Similarly, if you design your circuit, the circuit components can be, that is the component list can be generated, or if you are using an Arduino, the Arduino code can be generated, which could be fused into your Arduino board, right? So these things can be done with the help of this Tinkercad, right? So first what I will do, we have to create a login, right? So for that, you first click the sign in. Right. So if you click into the sign in, you will be getting a few options with which you can join, right? Either you can join with an email or a username if you have a class, or you can sign in with the Google or sign in with the Apple options, right? If you are going to access it as a student, then you can use the students join your class button, right? So now I will tell you how to create the teacher account. So I will be signing in with the Google. So yeah, see, I have signed in with the, just a minute. I will log out from my Google accounts. So before making it sign in, you just give join now, right? So if you give join now, whether we are going to use it for our own, then you can create a personal account. If you are going to use it for education purpose, then we can use it either as a educator or as a student. So as we are going to create a college that is teacher account, I'm going to use this educator. So educator start here. So once you click that, it will prompt for an agreement. So you can study the terms of services by your own. So it is an usual procedure. So then I will be giving it as I agree. Then I could sign in with the Google. So it will take some 2 or 3 seconds in order to log in into our account. So I have selected the Google account. Okay, so it is logged in into my account. See, as I have already logged in. So as a teacher, I have logged in as a teacher, right? Yeah. So it takes some time. So in the left hand side, you can view the different tabs. So the first tab is 3D design, the second tab is circuit, and third tab is code block, fourth tab is lesson, right? So 3D design is the thing what I have told. So you can perform the 3D design if you are interested in designing, right? So as we are dealing with circuit, so I will be using this circuit tab. So once you use the circuit tab, you will be getting the create new circuit tab in the right hand side, right? So that you can click this create new circuit to create a circuit. Okay. So before that, if you wish to create a class, then you click on this user account, right? If you have, as I have enrolled it as a teacher, I am getting this classes menu, right? Say suppose if you have enrolled it as a personal account or as a student, so in the profile, you can click the profile. So in the profile, you will be having, I have used some dummy mail ID. I have given my name. So how will you use a Tinkercad? So here I have selected it as teacher, right? So if you wish to make it as a student, you can use it as a student, right? You can ask your students to make it as a student account. So I will be using the teacher account, right? Then you can make it as save changes. Yeah. So user saved successfully. Again, we can come back to your Tinkercad. Okay. So before that, we will see the classes. So I will click the classes. Yes. So it takes some time. I'll be refreshing it. Oh my God. Yes, just a minute. It's getting updated. Yes. So once when I click classroom, you'll be getting your classes, right? So as I didn't created any new classes, so you can use a create new class, right? So with this, it will prompt a new window So you have to type your classroom name. Say for example, as it was conducted for STTP, I am giving it as STTP. So grade, either we can use any of the grade. So I will be making it as college. So subject, so we are dealing with engineering subjects. So I could do engineering. So once you select all these, you can give create class. Is it right? Okay. Right. So now the class is getting created. Okay. So if you look into this, you have 0 students, right? So in order to add the students, you click the class, right? So you have an option of add student. So if you have only 10 or 15 students, either you can add it by typing the name, or you can paste a list of students, right? So already we have our name list, isn't it? Participants name list. So I will be using that participant name list, right? Yeah. Just a minute. I will copy that participant name list. Yeah. So here we have the participants list. Right, so I will be copying the name from Excel sheet itself. So it is in the order of 1 row per member. So I have just pasted it. See, all the names are getting pasted one by one. So we have 101 registered participants. So I will be adding 101 students. Excuse me. Yeah. So all the students are added now, right, with an login info. Okay. So this login info will be used by the student in order to enter into this class. Okay. So this login ID can also be changed. So I usually take the practice of making the register number as the login info. So each student will have either a register number or a roll number, right? So I will be placing that register number or a roll number as a login info so that he will not forget it, right? So for example, A Uma Maheshwari ma'am. So for her, the login info will be the name followed by 4672. It is randomly generated. Similarly, for Mr. G Johnny, so the name was, the login info was Mr.G.Johnny 5870, right? If you would like to change the login info, we can also do it. See, this could be this could be done only by the teacher, not by the student, right? Yeah. So I will be giving the name as participant 1, right? So this is available and it is also correct. So by this way, we can give an user defined login info. Okay. So once you create this class, you can click the class code. So this class code and the steps has to be shared to the students, right? So the student has to use this class code to join the class, and he has to give your nickname given by the teacher. So nickname, that is the one we have generated now, right? So for Uma Maheshwari ma'am, we have generated the nickname as participant 1, right? So what the student has to do is he has to click on use this link, right? So once he uses this link, it will prompt for the class code, right? So the student, he has to join using this class code by giving the nickname. Okay, right? So now I will go for the simulation and then I will tell you how a student can be how the student work can be viewed into our class, right? Yeah. So I will just go back to the class and then again I will be coming back to my Tinkercad account. Okay, so I will be creating a new circuit. So create a new circuit. So once you create it, it will be taking you into the Tinkercad window. All right. So if you look into this, this area, the center left side, leftmost area or the center area, it will be the design area where you are going to design your circuit. Right. So this will be your file name or the design name, which is automatically generated. Right. So if you would like to rename this design name, you just click over it. Right. So I can say it as my design 1. See, the name has been changed. Okay. So then we will see what are all these things. So this one leftmost thing. So this one is used to rotate a device, right? So in order to rotate a device, either you can use this key, use this button, or keypad. In the keypad, you can use key R, right? Letter R can be used. If you press the key R, the component will get rotated, right? So the next one, it is the famous notation. It is a delete, then undo and redo. Okay, so this one you can use for annotation. So whenever you are going for a big circuit, that is the circuit which utilizes more number of components, then you can go for this annotation, right? So this one you can use this as a view or hide mode. So as we are going to view it, I am using it as a view mode, right? So code. So as we are dealing it with the digital circuits, we don't go for this coding purpose. This coding can be used for Arduino boards when you use Arduino boards, right? And this one is start simulation. Once we complete our circuit, we can press this tab in order to run our design. So this export, it will export the circuit into the required form. So Eagle software will be supported by the components list, and even you can generate the PCB layout from this export. So you can share or collaborate the circuit with your friends. Say for example, if you find any researcher, or if you like to have a co-teacher to work with your circuit, you can either collaborate with that faculty to work with your circuit. Right? Yeah. So let me start with a new circuit. Right? So as a whole, what we do with respect to a digital circuit, so we will be having a breadboard, and we will have a power supply, and we will have the ICs and a CRO or an LED to view the outputs. Right? So if you look into the right hand side pane, all the devices will be listed into this pane. Right? So you can select whatever devices you require. So the components, it has been divided into basically two things, basic components and all components. So you select all components so that you can verify what are all the components available in the Tinkercad. Okay, you cannot use any other components apart from this list. That is the only limitation, right? You can use only the components that are available with the Tinkercad, right? So in the previous session, our Abhishek sir told that with respect to your diode, you can change the diode model, right? So that is not possible with respect to this Tinkercad. You have to use only the predefined models, right? So it is better to use this type of software only for simulation purpose, that is to handle the classes, right? So you have the resistor, capacitor, so different type of capacitors, diodes, inductor. So in order to give the input, you have push buttons, potentiometer, slide switch, resistor, that is photoresistor, photodiode. You have distance sensor, that is ultrasonic sensor, PIR sensor, gas sensor, keypad, DIP switches, right? So these are all the input devices that we have. Similarly, with respect to output devices, we have our LEDs, and then your NeoPixel rings, your ordinary bulb, light bulb, and then you have your vibration motor, DC motors with the encoders, IR remote, 7-segment display, piezoelectric buzzer, LCD display, right? So all these will act as an output device, right? So in order to use the power, that is in order to supply the power, you have a 9-volt battery or a 1.45 volt battery, right? So if you require a 3-volt supply, then you can use the 1.5 battery, two numbers, so that you can add it together. Right, so you have a coin cell 3-volt battery also. So lemon battery, potato batteries are also available. And then in order to give the connections, you have your breadboard. So 3 different sizes. And then you have microcontrollers, that is your Arduino and Atmega. So this is Atmega. And you have your instruments, that is your multimeter, power supply, function generator, and oscilloscope. Apart from that, you have your integrated circuits. So AC circuits. These are all the power control circuits, which could be used for your power electronic simulations. And now we have our logic circuits. So logic circuits are placed in the last column, that is last row, right? So you have a NAND gate, NOR gate, AND gate, OR gate, XOR gate, inverter, schemic trigger, NAND based schemic trigger, 3-input NAND gate, 3-input AND gate. So likewise, you have to stick on only to these ICs, right? You cannot use any other ICs apart from the one which has been listed here, right? So you have a D flip-flop, JK flip-flop, 4-bit latch, 4-bit counter, adder, shift register, Johnson counter, and a 7-segment decoder, right? So now what I will do, I will just take a breadboard and will give the connection. So if you would like to search for any devices, you just type the keyword. So you have a breadboard, so it will be listed over here, right? Yeah. So I will be taking the breadboard small and I will be placing it at. So just a drag and drop. No other thing is required. Okay. So here in the drawing area, if you like to place it anywhere else, again the same procedure. You have to click, left click, right, and you have to drag. So wherever you like, you can paste it. I hope you are familiar with these breadboard connections, right? So in the center area, the breadboard lines will be connected in this vertical lines, right? Whereas the supplies, that is your outer area, will be connected in the horizontal lines, right? So it is shown with the green lines, right? So that the student will also get easier idea, that is clearer idea. So it shows that this row is fully connected. If you make a mouse over this column, it shows that all these are interconnected, right? So if you make a mouse over this, it shows that all these are interconnected, right? So if you like to make a connection from this end to this end, then we have to do it with the help of the wire. Okay, yeah. So next what we have to do, we have to take the NAND gate. Right, yeah. So here we have a NAND gate. So 74HC00. So I will be placing the NAND gate over here, right? So let me check the truth table of this NAND gate, sorry, or the circuit IC diagram, pinout diagram. So if you look into this, your NAND gate, you are having 1 and 2 as the inputs and 3 is the output. Similarly, 4 and 5 are input, 6 is the output, and 14 and 7 are the power inputs. So that is 14 is VCC and 7 is ground. So it has been given in order to provide the biasing, right? So for third NAND gate, you have your 9 and 10 as input and 8 as the output. Similarly, 13 and 12 as inputs and 11 as the output, right? So we will be taking this as a reference. So I have copied it from the data sheet, right? So you can also instruct the students to verify the pinout diagrams from the data sheets, right? So you can very well Google it. So we are going to use 74HC00, right? Yeah. So you will be getting the data sheet for it. So 74HC00. Right. Yeah. So here it is. So they have given all the electrical characteristics, dynamic characteristics, right? The pinout details, as well as the length and width between your each pins, right? So you can always try to inform the students to take care of this. Yeah. Just a minute. So today we have poor net connection. I think it may be due to the rains, the cloudy climate. Yeah. So in a simple, I could say that pin number 1 and 2 are inputs. Pin number 3 is the output. Okay. So if you make a mouse over this component, right, it will tell you what does the pin represent. Even you no need to remember what are all the pins that refers to the input or what are all the pins that refers to the output. So if you make a mouse over that pin, it says that it is input 1A. Similarly, input 1B. So here it is output 1. So you have a group that is you have a NAND gate. So you have 2 inputs and 1 output. See, if I make a mouse over to the next pin, it says input 2A, 2B and output 2. So it shows that 7th pin as the ground. So similarly, the power pin. So you have input 4B, input 4A, input 4. So input 3B, input 3A and input 3. So now what we have to do, we have to take the power supply and we have to give the inputs, right? So with respect to the power supply, in the instruments tab, you have a power supply over here. So I will be dragging and placing it over here, right? So once you place that, it will give the name of the component. That is, name is the number, voltage. What is the voltage? So 5 volt by default. Current is 5 milliamps. So you no need to change any values because we will be working with 5 volt range only. Okay. Yeah. So now what I will do. Sorry. Yeah. So in order to give the connections, again you have the standard notations. So your red color is positive or the signal, and your black color is the negative or ground. So I will be dragging from this point to my breadboard such that you will be getting the wire automatically, right? So wire is not a component. So you have to click this and you just move and then you connect it to the end point, right? See, it has been connected. See, the line is not a regular line, so I will be doing it in a more correct way. So now it resembles a straight line, right? See, by the default line is green color. You can change the color of the wire in order to discriminate the connections, right? So as it is a ground connection, I am giving the color as black. Okay. So similarly, so I am using on power line. So this line will be used as a power. So for power, we will be using the red line, power or the signal. Okay. So now what we have to do, we have to give the power, that is pin number 14, to this connection, right? Yeah. So this is your power line. So I will be taking one wire from this and I will be connecting over here. So as it is a power line, I am giving the connection color as red. Okay. So and then you have ground pin over here. So I will be taking it connection to this side and okay. So this is ground. So as it is ground connection, I will be connecting, changing the color as black. Okay. So now we have to give the inputs, right? So as it is a digital input, what I will do is I will take the help of the switches. Sorry. I will take the help of the switches in order to connect it, right? So we have as we have two number of inputs, it's enough if I use this DPST switches. Okay. Yes, it comprises of 4 number of switches. So the topmost portion will give you the on. Okay. Yeah. So again, it has 4 number of connections. So it is 1A, it is input, and 1B is the output. Right. So what I will do, I will be taking the connection. Yeah. Or just a minute. So from this power line, okay, I am taking one connection, right? So from where I will be giving the input to 1A, right? So let this one first line be an yellow color line. So it shows that yellow color line is my input A, right? So from 1B, I have to give it to pin number 1, right? Or any other pin we can take, right? So as it is nearer to this side, so I will be giving it to input 4A or input 4B. Okay, so I am connecting it to input 4B. So let the color be yellow, right? So next what I have to do, I have to use another connection. Okay, in a similar fashion. So let this color be a blue color, and I will be giving the connections from here. So let this also be blue color. So the output of the switch should be connected to pin number 4B, right? So all these will be in blue color. So you can even directly connect it. So for completion of the circuit, I am connecting it like this. So if we have connected 4A and 4B, next what we have to do, we have to connect your LED. So with respect to LEDs, we have two inputs, anode and cathode. Okay. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Yes. So this pin is cathode, this pin is anode. So I will be taking the output and I will be connecting it to anode, right? So next what I will do, I will connect the cathode to the ground. Okay, so I have used the anode, right? So from the cathode, I have directly connected it to ground. So as it is a ground, I will be using it as black line, right? So that is all. So we have completed our circuit. Now we will see what happens to our circuit, right? So for that, we have to run our simulation, right? See, this power supply is in off mode. When you make this simulation start, it will get switched on automatically, right? And if you look into this tab, it shows that all changes are saved. You no need to save. That is, there is no option of providing any save buttons, right? So it will be automatically saved, right? So now I will give the start simulation button. Oh my God, what happened? So this LED is getting, sorry, this device is getting bursted because the current through pin 4Y is 58.7 milliamps. See, it shows the error. So the current through the pin 4Y is 58.7 milliamps, while the maximum is 25 milliamps, right? So pin 4Y is your output, right? So it shows we have directly connected our LED into the ground field, right? So what we have to do is we have to connect an resistor over here, right? So I will stop the simulation. See, it shows that it is getting bursted, right? So I will stop the simulation. Now I will include one resistor, right? Yeah. So this resistor has to be connected from from cathode to the ground, right? So this is cathode. So I will be using this pin, right? So in order to rotate, I have to click R button. Yeah. See, it is getting rotated, right? Yeah. So I will remove this wire and I will move this wire. I remove this one also, and I will be connecting it from this point to this point. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So let me check. What is the value of the resistance? So if you click it, the resistance value will be shown over here. So resistance is 1 kilo ohms. If you wish, you can vary the resistance. Say for example, if I am making it as 100 kilo ohms, then automatically the color coding will get changed over here. So that you can very well check it, right? So 100 kilo ohms is a bigger value for this. So even I will be using 220 ohms, right? Yeah, so I will be using 220 ohms. See, the color has changed automatically. Okay, so let me check with the simulation. Right? Okay, so for a NAND gate, I hope it is the inverse of the NOT gate, sorry, AND gate. So whenever where both the inputs are high, your output will be low. See, in this case, both the inputs are low, that is 0, 0, your output is 1. Right, I am making one input as high, 0 to 1, your output is 1. Similarly, I will be making it as 1, 0, your output is 1, and 1, 1, your output is 0. So by this way, we can verify any digital circuit by connecting it through the breadboard. Right. So the only thing you have to remember is whenever you use the LEDs, you have to use the resistance, right? So if you are getting this IC or LED as bursted, then it shows that you don't have, or you have missed to connect the resistance with respect to your circuit. Okay, so we can stop the simulation, right? Let me check what happens if you do an export. Right, so if you click that, it will download an eagle.brd for circuit layout board. So it will automatically download that BRD file. Right, so I don't have support of Eagle files, Eagle software, so it is not useful for me. Right, if you wish, you can use that board files. Okay, yeah. So this one is a component list. So if you click this, you will be getting what are all the components that you have used and how many components you have used, right? So this will be this can also be downloaded as an CSV file, right? So far we have completed the simulation of one NAND gate. Okay, yeah, right. So this is what we have completed. Sorry, excuse me, please. Yeah. So next, so this we have already created the class. So let me see how a student is going to work. Right. So I will be using a student account with another Gmail account, and let me see how a student account will be processed into it. Okay, so for that we will check it. We will give one question. Say that you have to simulate a number guessing game, right? So we will be that is the user has to think over a number between 0 to 9, and he has to keep it in mind, right? So we will be giving some options. So based on the options, he has to see, he has to tell whether the number which is in mind is available in this group. If so, we have to switch on that switches, right? So if you switch on that switches, that the number that has been in the mind will be displayed automatically in a 7-segment display, right? So the ultimate aim with respect to this experiment is to introduce the student to a combinational circuit, right? So what I will do is, the only thing is we need a BCD to 7-segment decoder, right? So if you, this is because from to display a digit from 0 to 9, you require 4 number of bits. So you can use a BCD code to represent these values, right? So if you look into this, you have an just a minute, please. Oh my God. Yeah, I will take the pen so that it will be useful for you. See, if you look into this column A, right? So this column A, it is high only for the inputs 8 and 9, right? So whenever the person thinks the number as 8 or 9, only this value is going to be high. In all other cases, this value is low. So what I will do is, I will make this 8, 9 as a single group, right? So I will make this 8 and 9 as a single group, and I call this group as group A, right? So similarly, let me check the values for which the B is high. So if you look into this truth table, you have your B high at 4, 5, 6, and 7. So I will be combining this 4, 5, 6, and 7 into group B. Next, we will check the column C, and let us say what are all the variables that has been assigned with values 1, right? So it is 2, 3, 6, 7, right? So I will be using all these variables 2, 3, 6, 7 as group C, and then we will be checking the column D, and we will be checking whether you are getting 1, right? So that numbers will be made as a group D. See, it is 1. Obviously, it will include all the odd numbers. So 1, 5, 7, and 9, right? So what I am going to design is, I am going to design a combinational circuit, right? So in which I will be having 4 inputs. So A, B, C, and D. And I will be having one output which has been connected to a 7-segment display, right? If the user says that the number which is in mind, say for example 6, if the user is thinking 6 as in his mind, so we have to ask whether it is in group A. So as it is not available in group A, we have to switch off this A. As the 6 is available in group B, we have to switch on the group B, right? Then this 6 is available in group C also, so I have to make this on. As group 6 is not available in group D, I will be making it as switch off. So it shows that 0, 1, 1, 0. Obviously 0, 1, 1, 0 is 6. Hello? Yeah. Yes, any doubts?
Sir, Sivatanu, sir.
Ma'am, shall I continue?
Yes, sir, you continue, sir. I had muted him.
Okay. Yeah. So,
sir, 1 minute. Yeah. Participants, kindly confirm, any one of you, please confirm whether chat box is accessible. I'm getting complaints that you are not able to access the chat box. Any one of you, please send to one message in chat box, please.
Okay.
Selvi ma'am or Jacinta ma'am, ப்ளீஸ் இருந்தீங்கன்னா கொஞ்சம் chat boxல ஏதாவது போஸ்ட் பண்ணுங்களேன். Sir, you can continue, sir.
Okay. So it shows that it is 0, 1, 1, 0. So which is obviously 6. So the 6 will be displayed in your 7 segment display. Right? So this is what we are planning to do. So in order to do this, we require an 7 segment decoder, right? So the 7 segment decoder is available in our Tinkercad. So we will be doing this as a student work, right? So now I told you how to use a teacher account. Now I will tell you how the student view will be, and if the student has completed his work, how it will be reflected in the teacher account. Okay, yeah. So for that we will see the circuits. Yes. So we'll see the circuit. So this CD4511 is the IC that could be used for a 7 segment LED, right, or a 7 segment circuit, right? So in order to drive this 7 segment, you require this IC, which is available in our Tinkercad, right? So as I told, this one will be group A, B, C, and D. So in order to make 0, 1, 1, 0, we have to make this as 1 and these values as 0, right? So instead of push button, I will be using the DPST switches, right? So what we have shown, we have done, or we have used in the previous experiment, right? So I will be using this circuit, right? I will be using this circuit to simulate this number guessing game, right? Yeah. So I'll be going back to I'll be logging it out.
இல்ல
Yes. Yeah. So before that,
அது அங்க இருக்கு, அது கவருக்குள்ள இருக்கு, இருந்தா போதும்.
please participants mute yourself.
சரி.
See, I have not added the student account, so I'll be adding it. So in the classes, STTP is my class name. I will be adding one student, right? So let the name be okay, STTP demo. Sorry, STTP, right? So I will make the nickname as such. Okay, so I have added. Let me check. Yeah, so here I have a student as STTP demo, right? So now I will be logging out. Just a minute. Here, student account. Oh my God, I forget to copy the class, isn't it? Yeah, let me check. So in the meantime, I will check the chat box. Slow connection. Yes, classes, right? Yeah, I will click this class and I have the class code. So the class code is 9v6l8ax cpgb, right? So for our purpose, so what you have to do, being a teacher, you copy these steps, you have the code, then you post it in the chat box. So I have posted it. It has been given as an image. So let me create it as an text box. So text file. Let me create one text file over here. So I am again posting it. Yeah. So we have to click this link and we have to enter this class code, right? So I will be copying the class code, right? Yeah. So now I will log in into student account, right? So I'm going back to the class and my login info, it is http demo, right? Yeah. So I will log out. Yes, sign in. So student. So as I am a student, I will be joining to here, joining with this. I have pasted the class code. So I am going to my class. So join with the nickname. So my nickname is http demo. Right? So that's me. You click it. So being now I am acting as a student, I am going to design that circuit, right? So by default, the 3D design will be available. So you click it as the circuit, right? So next we make a create new circuit. So as usual, what we have to do, we have to take the breadboard, right? So this time, as it requires more number of connections, I will be using the bigger breadboard. Yeah. So here it is, and I will be dragging it and placing over here. Okay. Yeah. So next, what we require the switch, isn't it? Yeah. Yes. Where is that? So I am having one DP ST switch. Right. See, in order to reduce the size, zoom out, you have to click the center mouse button or center mouse if you have the wheel. Okay, so then instead of basic, I will take all the components so that it will be easier for me. Right? Yeah. So I will be taking the 7-segment decoder. So here we have the 7-segment decoder. I will be dragging it and placing it over here. Right. So next we have the 7-segment display. Okay. So before that we require one power supply. So I will be taking that power supply. and then we need a 7-segment display, right? So we have the 7-segment display. Okay, so I will be making it as such, right? So then if you look into this circuit,
chat box வந்து access பண்ண முடியலங்கறாங்க.
man,
இத வருது நான் ஷேர் பண்ணி விடுவா. only team members can இது
yes. Let me continue with the simulation. If you have the doubts, even if you have difficulty in accessing the chat box, you can ask me at the end, right? Yeah. Yes. So next we have our we need the resistors, right? I will show you the circuit, right? See, we require 7 numbers of 1 kilo ohm resistors, right? I have pasted the DPST switch over here, right? Yeah, so I will zoom this so that it will be clear. Right? Yeah, let it be. I hope it will be clearer for you. So we require 4 number of switches and then CD4511 IC, and you have you require 7 number of resistors, right? 1 kilo ohm resistor, and we have the 7-segment display, right? See, if you look into this IC, you require the output bits, that is from QA to QG, right? So the pin numbers are listed. So as I told earlier, you no need to worry about the pin numbers. Whenever you make a mouse over the pin, you will be getting the pin numbers. That is your output pins, right? So your inputs are A, B, C, D, and outputs are from section A to G, right? So the section A to G should be connected to the sections of your 7-segment LED, right? I hope you are familiar with 7-segment LED. It starts from topmost segment as A. You have to rotate in the clockwise. So this will be B, C, D, E, F, G, and last one is your decimal point. So we are going to use a common cathode configuration, right? So as it is a number representation, we no need for any decimal point representation. So I am using this decimal point to ground as well as the common cathode to ground. Okay, yeah. So this pin number 8 is ground for this IC, and pin number 16 is VCC for this CD4511 IC, right? So first what I will do, I will connect the pin number 16 to VCC. Okay, yeah. So I will be taking the supply, and I will be connecting it to it. So if it was a cross line, you can make it as a straight line. So I'll be doing it as a red. So next one is negative line. So I'm making it as positive. So let it be a black line. Okay. So that's all. So this all series will be all these lines are connected to the ground. Okay. Yeah. So if you look into the circuit, pin number 16 is VCC. So I'm connecting the pin number 16 to this ground. So you can make a mouse over here. So it shows that it is a power. So I will be making it to power line, right? So this one is pin number 8 is ground. So if you find it difficult, we can connect this ground line. Okay, I'll be using a connection over here, right? So excuse me, yeah. So we have connected the ground connections, right? So I will be making this ground as black. Okay. Right? Okay. Ma'am, you are requesting the permission, ma'am. Shall I allow?
Sir, no, sir.
Okay,
since participants are telling chat box is not accessing, I am just checking with you. Continue with your presentation, sir.
Okay.
Please.
Okay. Okay. So if you look into this mouse over, it shows input 2, input 3, lamp test, blanking. So this lamp test, blanking and latch enable, all these 3 pins has to be grounded, right? So that is what we have seen in our thing. So lamp test, blank and enable. So all these, sir, these 2 are grounded and these 2 are connected to VCC, right? So pin number 5 I'm going to ground. Pin number 3 and 4 to VCC, right? So pin number 5 to ground. 3, 4, 5, right? So this is pin number 5. I'm directly connecting it to ground, right? So pin number 3 is connected to 4, right? Okay, so I will be directly using an positive supply. Okay, I will take this in this way, right? Yeah. So that I could reduce the wire connections. Right? Yes. So this minus. So let this be black color. And I am getting one more connection. So this line will act as a supply line. Okay. Yeah. Right. Yeah. So this lamp test and blanking, I have connected it to high, and latch enable I have connected it to low, that is the ground, and ground supply I have connected it, right? So you have input 1, input 4, input 3 and input 2, right? Okay, let me start with input 1. So I will move this accordingly. So here I should get the input 1. So this will be my input 1. Okay. Yeah. So then this is input 4. Right. So next one is input 3. And then you have your input 2. Right. Yeah. Right. Yes. So this 1, 2, 3 and 4 should be connected to the positive lines, so that all things we will be getting the supply. Right. So 1, 2, then 3, and you have 4. Right. So I have connected the switches. So next what we have to do, we have to connect the LEDs, right? So for that we require 7 number of resistors, each is of 1k ohm. Okay. So I will be connecting it in this fashion. So it is 1 kilo ohm. Either you can drag it from there or you can copy and paste. 3 plus 3, 6 plus 1, 7. Okay, so I have used 7 number of LEDs, right? So this I have selected the 7 segment, so it is a common anode. So if I make it as a common cathode, my circuit will work well, right? Yeah, see, this is digit F. Okay, so from F to last, right? So it will be connected over here. So this is G. Oh, after F only you will be getting G, isn't it? Yeah. Let me make this connections. Let me change this connection. Right? Yeah. So this is G. This is F. Let me start with A. Yeah. So this is A. So first segment, first resistor, we will be using it for A. Right? Yeah. So next resistor, we will be using it for B. So B. So this one is for C. And then you have D. And then last one is E. So E, I'm directly connecting it with A, B, C, D, E. Right, so this should be F, isn't it? Yeah. Right. Okay. So now you have to connect this one. So from A to A, so you make a mouse over here. It is common. Right. First I will do. I will connect all the commons to ground, so that it will be easier for us, right? So common is grounded, and this is decimal point. So decimal point is also grounded, and you have one more common, so we have to ground this one also, right? Yeah. So now what we have to do, we have to give the connections accordingly based on this value. So this is A. So I will be connecting it to the first resistor. So this is B. So next one is B. I will be connecting it to the second resistor, C. Let me check where it is. Yeah, here it is. So from C, I will be connecting it to this point, right? Yeah. This is C, and you have D. So D is connected over here, and then we have E. So E, I will be directly taking from this point, right? So E is here, and we have F and G, right? So F, we can take the connections from here. So it is F. For G, we have to take it from this point, right? That's it. So we have completed the connections, right? Yeah. So we have given the power connections, the power supply connections, that is ground connection, and now we will try to simulate it, right? So in the name, I will make the circuit as experiment number 1. See, this is because a student will give the name either as a number or this circuit, right? Yeah. So we will start the simulation. See, as all the values are 0, it is 0, right? So let us check this truth table, right? If I make all these as if any one of these as 1, say for example, as with our example, if the user is guessing the number as 6, then 0 1 1 0 has to be used, right? So A B C D, I have to give 0 1 1 0. So 0 1 1 0. So 0 1 1 0, it is decoded as 6. Right? So the first button is group A, group B, group C, and group D. So like that. So if I make it as, sorry, this is A, B, C, and D. Okay, so let me make it as 1 1 0. So if the student has, so this is A, right? B, C, and D. So 0 0 0 1, it is 1. So 0 0 1 0, it is 2. 0 0 1 1, it is 3. And then 1 0 0, it is 4, right? So like this, if I make 1 0 0 0, it is 8. Then 1 0 0 1, it is 9, right? So this is how a student will complete his work, right? So he will be checking his work, and once he completed, he can give the stop simulation, and he can inform you in the chat box that he has completed, right? So once he has completed, what we have to do, we have to again start with the teacher count. See, the circuit name is experiment number 1. Okay, yeah. So HTTP demo, I'm logging out, and then I am signing in as the teacher. Okay, so in the teacher account, you click the classes. So you go for the HTTP class, right? And you check for the designs. If you click the designs, it will prompt for the 3D design by default. As we have worked with circuits, you just click the circuits. See, the circuit that has been done by the student is available for you to evaluate it. Okay, so the name of the design is experiment number 1. The student name is HTTP demo, right? So in order to verify it, you just click it. Okay, you give simulate. Once you give simulate, it will start to simulate it. So you give start simulation. See, I'm just varying the buttons, right? So 1 0 0 0 8 is simulated. So we could say that the student has completed his simulation. So you give start simulation, stop simulation, and give your comment, right? Say for example, good work. So if you post it, this comment will be posted to the student, and if you like, you try to like this work, so that the student will also get happy. Okay, so this is how you can trace the student by giving a homework or a design work to them, right? So you can use this Tinkercad in an efficient way to handle the classes, right? So no need of installation. That is the major advantage of this software, right? So I thought to simulate one more circuit, a sequential circuit. So you have an synchronous counter, so using a JK flip-flop, right? So for which you require 2 bits, Q0 and Q1. You have to give a clock input, right? So in the meantime, I will try to go with it. So I will use one new circuit. Right? Yeah, I will take this all the components. So in the last plane, I will be getting the sorry, I will be getting my JK flip-flop. right? So where it is, so here you have your JK flip-flop. So if you wish, you can download your data sheet. So it is not required for this case. As I told, if you make a mouse over, you will be getting the inputs, right? Yeah. So in order to work, you require your power supply, and in order to generate the clock, you require one function generator. So the usage of function generator is the new thing with respect to this sequential circuit, right? So all other things are one and the same. So first we will be using this positive line. I will be connecting it to breadboard, and I have a negative line, and I will be connecting it to this breadboard again. Okay, so if you look into the circuit, your J and K has to be connected to VDD, and second J and K should be connected to Q0, right? So you have a synchronous clock as it is a synchronous counter. Okay, so I will be using it. See, it is clock 1. I will check for clock 2. Okay, so the clock 1 and clock 2 are interconnected, right? So this is clock, that is function generator. I'm using that function generator to trigger all the things. So this will be your ground. So I am grounding it. So you can make this design as a pleasant one by varying the size of the wires and changing the colors too, right? So this is reset. So reset, what we have to do, we have, as it is a active low, we have to make it as low. So we have to make it as high. So reset 1, power. So power, I'm connecting it. This is reset 1. So reset 1, I'm connecting it. Sorry, instead I'm giving it to positive line. So I'm using the positive line over here, and this is reset. This is K1, clock 2, reset 2. Right? So reset is also given to, what is this? Output to K2. So here you have J1. Here we have K1. So I will be connecting that J1 and K1 together, right? So this has to be connected to VDD, right? So I'm connecting J1 and K1 together. Sorry. So I'm connecting J1 and K1 together. So this is K1. So connected to J1, it is connected to your. So this is reset 2. So next one is J2. Output to J2 and K2. So K2, J2. So I'm connecting the J2 and K2 together. So it should be from the output 1. It is triggered from the output 1. Okay. Yes. So this one is ground. So I will be grounding it. Okay. Next we need an LED and a resistor. Right. So let me make this LEDs over here. Right. And we require 2 number of resistors. This will be your cathode, isn't it? Yeah. Let me check the value of the resistor. Let me change the value to 220 ohms. Simple, we can complete it. Yeah. So I'm using one more resistor over here. Okay. Yes. So this, where is our output 2? So this is output 1. Okay, so I will be connecting it to this point anode, right? Similarly, where is my this is my output 1. So here you have our output 2. So output 2, I will be connecting it to this one, this anode. Okay, so this cathode, this has to be grounded. This should also be grounded. So I will be directly grounding it from this point. Okay, I think I have given all the connections. Let me check. Right, so before that we have to check the parameter. So it is frequency. So 1 millisecond we could not change. So we make it as 1 hertz. The amplitude is 5. DC offset is 2.5. As we are going to make it as a clock, we should make this as square function, right? So we'll start the simulation. So 0 1 1 0 1 1. So 0 0 0 1 1 0 1 1. So this 2-bit counter, right? See, as it is updated in a second based on the second. Okay, so for that reason I have given the 1 hertz. Okay, so this is DC offset. I hope you know the meaning for DC offset. So if you make this as a DC offset, it will be clamped up, right? Yeah, so that is all. With this I will stop the simulation purpose. So if you have any queries, you can ask me even by unmuting yourself.
Sir, is there any possible to have a analog circuit, sir, like digital?
Yeah, analog circuits, again, limited topics. We have 555 timers and schematic triggers. So for that, you can use this function generator as the input. It is possible, sir.
Sir, is that op-amp and that kind of features? Is there a possibility, sir?
What sort of features, sir?
Operational amplifier circuits and
yes, you can use
circuits.
the operational amplifiers. You have the 555 timer, 741 operational amplifier, quad comparator, dual timer. There is 556, and you have comparator 393 comparator. Only with these circuits, with these ICs, you can work it out, sir.
Okay, sir. Is there any possibility to create our own IC, sir? Is there any procedure
No,
to
sir,
create
no
ICs?
possibility. We have only the predefined ICs. We can create the circuits with the help of the available ICs.
Okay,
We could
sir.
not incorporate any new IC or even other than the available ICs.
Sir, one more thing. Can we increase the breadboard size, sir, in case of circuit is larger one means? Is there a possibility?
Yes.
Or else
Yes. You make one more breadboard and you give the connections like this, right? Say for example, if you require a bigger breadboard, either you can use this breadboard, or even if you require more advanced, that is more connections, you can use this breadboard as a parallel one. So you give one plus connection to this plus connection, sorry. So this plus to this plus.
So that's the way we can change the dimensions, right, sir? Breadboard dimension cannot be changed.
You could not change the dimensions. Either you can zoom in or zoom out. That's it. So if you scroll, you can zoom in, zoom out, or zoom in.
During the introduction time, you said we can able to do Arduino-based circuits and this. Would we be able to do other controllers?
No, sir. Only Arduino is supported. It will not support any Intel processors or Motorola processors. Only Arduino is supported.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Any other questions?
Any other questions, please? Chat box enabling. I'll check it with afternoon session, please. Kindly, you can ask. You can unmute yourself and you can ask your doubts now. Any other questions?
Okay, shall we wind up, ma'am?
Yes, sir, we can wind up. Any other
Sir,
questions?
Narasimhan, sir.
Narasimhan, sir, you want to ask some question? I think we can wind up, so we can go for lunch. Yes.
Madam,
Yes, sir.
analog circuits now that compared to digital circuit, what is the futures?
Sir, only the ICs that are available with respect to the analog circuits can be used, sir, for Tinkercad.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Fine.
Thank you, Saravana Kumar, sir, for your presentation on Tinkercad. I think the session was useful for using online tools. By using our online tools, we can simulate our digital circuits lab. And thank you everyone for joining us. And chat box problem will be rectified in the afternoon session. And I request everybody to join by 2:15 p.m. for the afternoon session. Thank you. Thank you, sir. I'll end the meeting for everyone. Thank you.
Yeah, welcome.